So today we're going to talk about coaching mindset and how do I do this? How do I have a coaching mindset? How do I acquire the mindset and then bring it into the conversations that I'm having with people as a coach or as a leader, as a manager? So this one is kind of a paradox because in the last video we talked about what is coaching mindset and why do we do it, and we dug into that a little bit and we found out that coaching mindset is really a state of being. So here I'm asking you to think about, how can I acquire a coaching mindset? How do I do that? It's a paradox, a bit of a conundrum, and because it's about being, we're going to have to translate this into a set of steps that will allow you to gradually shift your mindset and open your mind up in coaching conversations. So the solution here is really to kind of start in reverse. It's to do your way first, practice doing, make a commitment to just keep doing, and in time, the being will just come about, and ultimately you will not do a coach, you will be a coach. So just like learning coaching skills, learning coaching mindset, which doesn't just apply to coaching. This is about being very open-minded and very neutral and just taking in information from a place where you're very deeply invested in the other person's discovery and their story. So this set of skills, this coaching mindset that we're talking about, applies to so many things beyond just coaching if you're out there in the world communicating with people. But let's stay on course. So we're going to do some things. We're going to commit to practicing them so there's a natural evolution into being, which is exactly what mindset is. So mindset requires a mastery of self, a mastery of yourself at the highest level. Mindset is when you almost like shine a light or a laser beam intentionally on your blind spots. You want to know the things you're missing. And by opening up your mind and by adopting some practices and some daily regimen and using mindset principles in your interactions and coaching and with others, it's almost like exercising a part of your brain and muscles in your brain and the interaction of your left and right brain in a way that opens you up to receiving information from other people more accurately. Coaching mindset, and this is a big one, opens your mind. It's almost like an intake valve. Your mind opens up, and what's coming at you in a coaching conversation, you're going to absorb it and in a much deeper way, meaning and context and all of those things. But to get in the right state of mind, because I promised you we're going to touch on how do I do this thing, it takes practice. And so let's just dig in and see, how do I shift my mindset to that of mastery as a professional coach? So here's the very, very, very first thing. Adopt a daily mindful practice. It could be meditation. It could be anything that takes your mind out of the daily clutter and thinking about all the things in your life and just lets you unwind. It could be gardening, anything. And the important thing here is not how long, but how regular, because as you adopt a regular practice of mindfulness, almost like taking a brief exit from life and the buzz of your day just for a little while to reset and let the creativity come out and let all the clutter leave your mind. Any kind of daily practice that's done every single day will naturally progress you toward coaching mindset. The next thing is to start listening to and hearing yourself. Listen to yourself and hear yourself. So you're speaking, but hear what you're really saying. Hear how you really sound. Make a conscious effort to do that. Remember, we're doing our way into mindset. So start by listening to yourself and hearing yourself. And then start listening to and hearing others in the same kind of way. Because when you hear yourself and you open yourself up and then you apply that same mindset to others, everything opens up in the conversation. Notice how you are different from other people that you're speaking with or that you're coaching with. Your personality, the way you language, the way you speak, your languaging, your gestures, your ideas, your perspective. everybody has their unique signature about how they look at things. And in a coaching interaction, be very cognizant of that, because that's the difference between you and the other person. And that's just an acknowledgement and awareness that we're different. And I don't have any judgment about that, because in a coaching conversation, it's all about the other person. So notice how you're different, celebrate your differences, but be aware of them, because mindset and this thing we're trying to achieve is all about being open and about receiving that other person, their meaning and their context. Work with people who will support your growth. Work with programs, work with professionals that can help you open up your mind. Start following your gut more, your intuition. Sometimes you just know. Take the chance, because coaching mindset, and as your mind opens up, you start to think less and intuit more. That gut feeling that you just kind of know. And you test that in a coaching conversation. You don't tell people, you just invite people to consider, maybe you just had a direct gut feeling or an intuitive hit, as we call it sometimes. Test it out. Put it in the circle of your conversation with someone and say, this may or may not be relevant, but I'm feeling like maybe, it's worth trying, because if it comes from your mindset, it comes from that open mindset and not just your analytical brain, pretty good possibility that your gut feeling or your intuition was right. And so the final thing here is use tools to open your mind. Use assessment tools, use meditation tools, use resources, anything that you can find. One of the tools that we really love at Sapphire Coaches, and I mentioned it earlier, I think it was in the last video, is the Coaching Mindset Index. It's an actual scientifically validated instrument. It takes about 10 minutes to complete. There's a 1-hour debrief with a certified practitioner, and which we have on staff here at Sapphire Coaches, and it will show you the difference between the way you perceive yourself and your mindset as a coach and the way it actually measured out against this database of coaches that have taken the assessment, which is a very large and dynamic growing database that you're compared to. So it is, there's no judgment in the assessment. It's just a kind of a portrayal of your mindset. So to sum it all up, coaching mindset is about being, not doing. And the way to get to the being is to practice all these things we've talked about. And let's not lose sight of the ultimate goal of all of this, which is to affect positive change in others through our coaching. So if we get our act together in our mind, and we get our internal landscape in the right place to sit with others and help them discover and have the epiphanies and the conversations that will move them forward in their lives, that's why we're here. So it's about putting ourselves inside of us in the right place. I hope that helps. If you're interested in professional coaching, I'd like to invite you to click on the button that's right around this video and take a look at the Associate Certified Coach Credential Starter Program from Sapphire Coaches. It's a way to learn a little bit about professional coaching without making a huge investment of time and money, and things like coaching mindset and active listening and some of the topics that we've been covering lately are all part of what we teach in the program. So I will hope to see you down the line, and thank you very, very much for paying attention here.